There we go. Is it blurry? That's what I want to know. Are you blurry? Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. I have not recorded in a very long time. My camera had a very bad scratchy lens, and then also it was just not working properly, okay? So anyways, I'm back. It took me forever to get my camera up and going. I even considered getting a brand new camera just because I didn't want to deal with this one, and it costed me a lot of money to get it fixed. So anyway, here I am, and I have some really cool things that I want to share with you guys. I was literally up all night, like with insomnia for things, you know, pregnancy reasons probably, but I did have a little bit of brownie last night, and sometimes caffeine and chocolate affects me, so I end up staying up. I just wanted to come on here, you guys, and just talk about, you know, my whole pregnancy experience, my first trimester so far, and I guess like I'm just gonna take you back to the very beginning. I literally had no idea it was ever going to happen because I am 37 years old. I am currently engaged, but I still in my head I was just like, I don't know when it's ever gonna happen. I'm probably gonna be in my 40s. Like, I just kept thinking, because Eli is 9 years younger than me, and you know, he's got way more time than me, and I'm thinking I don't have a lot of time, at least my uterus is telling me. So I'm going to share with you guys like my symptoms. This is kind of how I was able to tell that I probably was pregnant. And I know that like some people are really in tune with their bodies and some people aren't, but I am very, very in tune with my body. I use an app called Period Tracker. And basically because I have such like hormonal mood swings, I always keep track of my period, or I always did, because I wanted to make sure that if I was being a bee that day, or if I was just like crying like crazy, I wanted to know, okay, is my period coming? Like, why am I being like this? So that is like the simple reason. I didn't care about my actual period. I just wanted to like do it for my eating, for my mood, and all that. So I've been really, really good with tracking my period for a lot of years. Which also helps in this circumstance, because if you guys haven't got on track with that, you should, because it does help, especially if you are planning on getting pregnant one day. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the first trimester experience. So the first symptom, I didn't really think anything of it at first, because there's something in my eye and it's really annoying me. Sometimes I just have insomnia. I don't know what it is. Like, it depends maybe on what I'm eating, or if I had like caffeine too late or whatever. So I started with one night of insomnia, and it was probably like 2 hours, 3 hours long. And it was like in the middle of the night, like 2 a.m. And I'm like, that's weird, because normally I don't have insomnia like that late. Like, normally I just can't fall asleep until like 2. But anyway, this one was, I woke up at like midnight, stayed up till like 2 or 3 kind of thing. And then the next night it was like I would wake up at 2 a.m. and stay up until 4, and it was just starting to get like every day kind of thing. And then it would just like, and then one day I just slept fine. So that was the first symptom that was just kind of weird to me. Like, it threw me off. The second one I noticed, okay, so this one was like totally weird. You guys, I had like 5 or 6 symptoms. This is how I kind of knew that my body was doing something weird. So basically, I was really dizzy. For some reason, I was just super dizzy. And it was like to the point where I was like falling over while I was walking. And I was telling Eli, like, what is wrong with me? Like, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Like, do I have a brain tumor? Like, what's going on? And so I was dizzy for like 2 solid weeks. Like, it wasn't going away. I was waking up with dizzy spells and stuff. I was just like, this is so weird, okay? So basically the next symptom was I started cramping every single day. And I was like, oh yeah, I must be starting my period, like every single day. It would come on like I'm gonna start my period, cramping, and then it would just kind of fade away. It was weird. It was like cramping every single day for like a week and a half. And I just thought that was really strange. I thought I unplugged this thing. Guess not. So that happened, and then I started getting obviously tender breasts, and that was like weird because my nips were like super tender and sore. I was like, okay, normally my boobs get sore and tender obviously before the period. That's just a normal thing. You guys, we can all talk about that because that's normal. But this time it was like my nips could cut glass. Like, they hurt so bad. But I knew in my head that things were off, and I was just starting to collect the symptoms and collect these little signs. The last one that I can really think of was my back pain. Like, I started to experience lower back pain, or like my mid back, like right in here. And I was kind of like, huh, you know? So I had Eli like rub my back one night when we were watching a movie. I'm like, oh, like I'm in pain. And because I didn't understand like what was going on. So this is where it gets really funny. Okay, this is where I couldn't wait to share this with you guys because I feel like such a dummy. So it was 5 days before my missed period, and I was thinking this is probably too early to take a test. But since my body is wigging out, I'm gonna go ahead and take a test. So I go to the 99-cent store, and I go back to my house, and I basically pee in a cup, and I do the whole thing, right? And you guys, my test came back positive, but I had no idea that it was positive. And this is why I don't understand my logic to this day. It says, if you're pregnant, 2 pink lines will show up. 2 pink lines showed up, but one was like super bright and the other one was really faint. So I was like, oh, this test is broken, like, or I'm not pregnant. Nah. I just felt kind of stupid in that moment because you'll see. I threw that test away. I didn't think anything of it. I just kind of like threw it in the trash, left it there. Hoping Eli wouldn't find it because I felt embarrassed. I was like, whatever, I'm overthinking this. Like, I just need to like move on with my life. Fast forward 5 days. This is now on a Tuesday. I took another test that I had like from just keeping one around. I know that sounds bad, but I just kept one around to be safe. Like, I'm a girl and I just do these things. So I kept one around, and it was brand new. Obviously didn't use it. That would be weird. And kept in my drawer for, I don't even know how long. It's been a long time. And I basically took it out and I peed and I did the whole thing, and it said error. So I obviously took the test wrong. I did something wrong. So not only was my first test, I was pregnant, okay? The second test, it said an error, and I had no idea. Like, it was just like, had no idea I was pregnant, okay? So then I text Liz and I'm like, hey, like, I don't know if I'm reading the 99-cent test wrong. I said, but would you mind if I like come over and you can like see if I'm doing this right? And I feel like such a dummy, you guys, because those tests are like so stupid. Like, whatever. I just wanted to make sure. Since the first one didn't go that great for me, I was like, and the second one didn't go that great for me, I wanted her there as like a witness to be like, okay, is this actually like I'm pregnant? Because I needed to know. I didn't want to do it with Eli because I wanted it to be a surprise if it was going to happen and all that. So I go home, I go in the bathroom, I take my little red Solo cup and I pee in it, and then I dip the stick and I pull it out and I wait like a minute or two, and this time the other pink line showed up way brighter. So this time I knew that I was pregnant, and you guys, I was like in major shock. I screamed down the hallway. I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like, Liz. And I like, cause my sister just found out she was pregnant like a month before me, you guys. We're literally like this close apart, okay? And I never thought that would happen. She's like 33 years old. I'm 37, or she's going on 34. So we're like a little bit older, you know, so I just never thought it would be like lined up like this. She was just like, yeah, like she's so like laid back and chill, you know, and I'm like, oh my God, like I'm freaking out, you know, and I was just like in shock. I'm like, oh my gosh, like what is Eli gonna think? Like, what am I gonna tell him? Like, we're not even married right now. Like, we're gonna get so much judgment. Like, I kept thinking all these things. I'm like, we're supposed to be moving to Utah. Like, so much is going on right now. I'm building a business. So you never expect or plan for these things, you guys, sometimes, like, but sometimes life just, it's like, it just happens sometimes, and you're just like, okay. I had, basically morning sickness like all day long, and I've thrown up probably a good 8 to 9 times in the first trimester. There's a couple times like that I would just cough so hard that like, I'm having like phlegm, and I don't know why I have a cough, but I was coughing so hard one day that it like caused me to throw up. Another day I woke up in the morning and I just instantly had to throw up. It hasn't been pleasant for me, but I know that it's not going to last forever. It's actually starting to be more mild now and lighten up, so I'm actually really happy about that, because I know like it has been not really fun. Like, there's days that I've just like had to be on the couch. I had no energy. I'm just so tired. Now I feel a little bit better. So the first time I went to my OBG, my baby was like 5 weeks old. Like, I'm talking like a seed, right? And there was not a whole lot. I could see like the head and the arms. It was just not a whole lot going on. It wasn't moving or anything. It was just like this like still image, and it was so weird. And then the next time I went, I think was like, I want to say it was like 3 weeks later or something like that. It actually looked more of like a baby, but it wasn't like fully, it still had like the tail and like all that stuff, so it's just so weird. And then I went again, and this time it was just like hopping all over. It was moving. I think I went another 3 weeks later, and it was just, yeah, it was totally moving around. I took Eli to an ultrasound in Temecula because I wanted him to see the baby, and it was so cool. Like, my kid, I don't, by the way, I don't know what I'm having yet. If I haven't mentioned that, I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm having, if it's a boy or a girl. We went to the ultrasound tech, and the baby was just like seriously jumping up and down. Like, it's like on its back, you know, like its head's right here. And it was just kind of like jumping up and down, and so much energy. And I know we had just gotten Chick-fil-A, so maybe that had a lot to do with it. So it was just really special to be able to see with Eli. And I think for guys, like, it probably doesn't really like hit them until they actually have the kid, like holding it. That's what I've heard with men. It affects women differently because we're like growing the kid and we get to like feel it and see it and stuff. I think it's just a different experience for men and women, but I could be wrong about that. But the whole experience so far has been really, really just a blessing. I never knew when I would actually get pregnant. It's so cool, like, being my age and knowing that like God's promises are still true. It's still there. It's still a possibility for you, because you just never really know like when you're going to get engaged, or when you're going to have a baby or get married. You don't know these things. You just kind of like go through life and you just hope for it. I just want to leave you guys with some encouragement. God knows your heart, and I can tell you firsthand, you guys, I have been very bitter and angry with God, and I know that's not right, but I just kept thinking, like, you're all powerful. Like, why aren't you helping me out in this area? Like, what is wrong with, like, why isn't this happening, you know, for me? I'm 37, I'm not getting younger, like, when is this gonna happen, kind of thing. Truly just wait on God's timing, because I'm 37, you guys. Like, it's never too late. Like, even if you're 45, it's never too late for you to have a kid, for you to be engaged, for you to be happy. God knows the desires of your heart, and He has a purpose. He has a plan for your life. God is completely with you. He's going to literally walk with you every step, and you're not alone at all. I have been the one that has waited for so long to have a child, okay? I've just wanted to give up. And I did. I just said, Lord, like, I'm done. This is stupid. But don't give up if that's something that you really, really want in your heart. You know, it may take 10 years from now. It may take 1 year from now. Just trust God in his timing, and I promise you it'll work out. Thank you guys so much for listening to this. I am very excited to be able to walk through this journey with you. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope you guys have a great day. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please do now, because I promise you there's going to be many adventures to come. And give this video a good old thumbs up. Love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.